So the hashtag fire Chris Hayes was trending on Twitter yesterday, or maybe today it still is too, after Chris Hayes, the host of MSNBC show, I believe it's called All In with Chris Hayes, had a guest on, Rebecca Traister. She works for the New York Magazine, and she had an essay titled "The Biden Trap," just critical of Joe Biden for not coming out and addressing this very credible sexual assault allegation against him, and instead all of a lot of these female surrogates for Joe Biden are having to answer these questions for him, and they're just shills and hacks, a lot of them, people like Kirsten Gillibrand and Stacey Abrams. Those people are just kind of running interference at this point. And then Chris Hedges had her on, and then he also had a little bit of a segment that I watched that just kind of reported some of the things about the case. The New York Times article that was published, how the campaign people who Tara Reade said she had told at the time about it denied it. He also reported on the Tara Reade's neighbor confirming a couple of years later that she did in fact tell her. And he was basically making the point, that Me Too movement doesn't mean that we automatically believe all women, no matter who the claim or the allegation is against, but it does mean that we should be taking these seriously, investigating them, even if they are, on our same side politically, which is obviously, the correct, point and assessment to make, as opposed to people like Gillibrand, Abrams, Alyssa Milano, etc., who, only seem to care about these, women and their stories coming out and really, investigating them fully if it suits them politically. Chris Hayes is totally right to cover this story. It's huge. It's a disgrace that has taken, this long for, a mainstream media outlet, a show on MSNBC, CNN, or whatever to cover this. It's a huge disgrace, but credit and kudos goes to Chris Hayes for actually having the courage to buck that trend and get out there and cover it. It's pretty ridiculous and insane that Fire Chris Hayes is trending for him doing his job as a journalist, covering this huge, massive story that nobody else has. We shouldn't be saying that we need to fire Chris Hayes. We should be saying, why did it take so long? Why is he the only one out there talking about this? Why are the other hosts on MSNBC, CNN, these other mainstream media outlets, why are they not covering it? It's journalistic malpractice that he's the only one up until this point to cover this story, as well as all the other journalists, the possibly dozens at this point, after this allegation came out that, Tara Reade claiming that Joe Biden sexually assaulted her. All of those journalists, those media people who have had the opportunity to ask Joe Biden at least, one single question about this allegation, none of them have done that. It shows how completely and, utterly corrupt most people in the journalism field are, and how they're willing to suck up to power and, willing to throw this very serious and troubling sexual assault allegation against Joe Biden under the rug because they think it benefits them politically. And it's, really, really just disgusting and disturbing that cancel Chris Hayes was trending on social media because he was actually doing his job as a journalist, showing some integrity, showing some courage by covering this story when nobody else in mainstream media has. This just nuts. It's nuts.